Welcome to the video, everyone. My name is Allstar DZ7. This is my channel. My name is David Zambrano, and tonight we're gonna talk about It Comes at Night, the new movie starring Joel Egerton. And I'll probably get roasted for this, but let me just look up her name real quick. So I had it right here. Riley Keough. All right, let's talk about this movie. This is a new horror movie that just came out from the studio A24. And I will say this: the trailer of this movie doesn't really give away the plot of what's happening. All you know is there's some family in the woods that are trying to survive, and they're just taking every type of precautions that they need to survive. Now, let's get to it. Is this movie? This movie is really suspenseful and scary. Every scene that's supposed to scare you in this movie, it really gets you. It really does get you. It's telling me, man. I got uneasy feelings in my body. It was really fucking got me. I give you that. It's gonna really creep on you. But the one thing that really amazes me about about these scenes is just that this movie really is a take on real reality. More like it's more realistic because I can compare this movie to Signs, The Walking Dead. It seems like it takes place in this type of area, but what I can say about this is it's more about the choices you make in order to stay alive. Because to me, this movie seems like it's taking place like in a zombie apocalypse, and you're just trying to choose everything and you're just doing whatever you can to survive. And that's basically what these people in this movie is doing. And it's you could tell in the reasons behind the things that they choose to do in this movie. You can honestly, you don't really need to know why these people are doing it. You just know it in your gut because you just know it in your gut that this is exactly what I would be doing if I was put in the same exact situation as these people. Which brings me to my biggest, how can I say this? To the best thing that amazed me about this movie. This movie is very realistic. And it just makes as soon as the movie started, I was there. Like it felt really claustrophobic. It felt like I was there, like I was one of these people actually put in the exact situation for survival. And the one thing that I really get about this movie is that you have to pay attention to everything that these people say, because everything that these people said in this movie, I bought into it. You actually feel like they're telling the truth, and that is a major thing you have to pay attention in this movie. You have to listen to the way they talk. You have to know if they're telling the truth or they're telling lies, because this is a battle for survival here. You can't. There are no risks to be taken here. You either live or die in this movie. And which it's like the one thing about this movie is that the main character of this movie is, I don't think this is a spoiler, but the character of this movie is basically the son in this family. And basically you are following this kid as he faces reality of what's happening around him, as his parents are trying to protect him and themselves, and they just want to survive. That's pretty much it. But the one thing about it, the choices that his parents make and himself in this movie is, you could just feel the effects it has on him, because he is really being beaten and broken as he witnesses all the events that are happening in this movie and throughout this and in this movie, which actually becomes actually the choices that they make is what actually brings out the suspense and the horror that awaits them as they try to survive. And the one thing about the things that actually scare you in this movie is basically the one things that are basically, they're just like real life situations that just happen all of a sudden, and they just like pop up, and now it's like you have to deal with it now. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, there is no time to wait and think. You have to know already what to do. And which it kind of brings me to the finale of this movie. Like, to me, it felt a little weird at first, but then I'm like, okay, now it makes sense now. But other people in the theater would be like, this movie's not made for theaters. Now I laugh at these people. No, I'm not. The one thing about this movie is it constantly takes its time to tell its story. But I know this movie was really short, but it doesn't feel short. It feels like you are with these people in this situation, and now it's go time. You need to react constantly because all the performances in this movie, it's really fantastic. I believe I felt like I knew these people in real life. Like these are the type of people I would run into on the streets, and there's really is nothing else I could do about it. So, which brings me to my final thoughts about this movie is really suspenseful. Trust me, especially the soundtrack behind it. It just really creeps on you on the exact moment it can get you in order. It will get you fully gets your attention into what's happening, because when the scary shit is about to happen, it just drags you along. It just happens all of a sudden. Now you're just put into the situation. Now you need to know what to do. And I can say this: everything that happens in this movie makes complete sense. You understand why, because I see it as just instincts and knowledge about reality and how people are and what they are willing to do to survive in this movie. So overall, I would give this movie a perfect 10 because honestly, I really don't see any flaws in this movie. The one thing about it, I guess the one thing I can know about it is I would like to know a little bit more about the sickness, but that really doesn't play a major role. That doesn't really matter in this situation of a movie, because you just know that there's something wrong happening, and now you just need to deal with it. You just need to deal with it, and which puts you in the difficult decision to make a choice in order for you to survive. Otherwise, guys, this is the end of the video, and I look forward to doing more videos. I know it's been a while, and I know I just started my channel, but I will do it more. Thank you guys for watching, and go Angels.